This is an upscale neighborhood. What are you doing here? We live in one of those high-rise luxury apartments. This area isn't for someone like you. I never imagined I would run into the man who cheated and left me for a younger woman. And to top it off, they both look down on me again. You're still as plain and poor-looking as ever. Oh, by the way, I make $100,000 a year. $100,000 a year? That must be tough. It was my husband who uttered those unexpected words. My name is Sarah. I'm 28 and work for a company that deals in ceramics. It all started when I stopped by a pottery market, a favorite of my mom's, during a family trip when I was in junior high. And now, it has even become my career. While I'm happy to be able to work with something I love, I sometimes think it wouldn't be so bad to remain single forever. But life is unpredictable, and you never know when you'll meet someone new. I participated in a promotional event for local pottery. I met and ended up dating Jake, who worked for an event planning company. You always respect my work because you know how passionate I am about it. With you, I feel like I can build a secure home. He used to say that, and since I had no intention of quitting my job, I thought we could make it work even after getting married. Jake often had to travel for work because of the events, and he was busy even on weekends. I was in the same boat, sometimes having to work on weekends due to the kiln schedules. It was unavoidable that we couldn't meet on our days off or sometimes had to cancel plans at the last minute. Being too trusting, I was slow to realize. Jake started canceling plans more often due to work and wouldn't even show up for wedding planning meetings. Unlike before, he wouldn't answer his phone either. One day, after a meeting on the go, I was headed to the station. Across the street, on the opposite sidewalk, I spotted Jake. What a coincidence. I could go straight home today, and I wanted to have dinner with him after so long. Thinking this, I started running towards him as soon as the light turned green. Jake. Are you done with work? Can we go have dinner together? Huh. Next to Jake was a tall, beautiful woman with long legs, and they both turned around simultaneously. Moreover, my arm was firmly linked with Jake's. Sarah. What are you doing here? What a coincidence. I was nearby for a work meeting, and it just ended. Are you still working, Jake? And who might this lady be? It clearly didn't look like he was working, but I asked calmly anyway. I knew his job involved interacting with many event companions and models. Ah, this is Monica, a model. Hello. She smiled at me warmly. Wow, she's not only stylish and pretty, but she's also a model. So it's business-related after all. I felt a bit relieved. I'm not thrilled about them being arm in arm, or rather, that they've been arm in arm this whole time. But maybe that's normal for someone who works as a model. Hello. I'm Sarah, engaged to Jake. When I greeted them, Jake made a face as if he had bitten into something bitter, and Monica, as she was called, looked back and forth between him and me, then burst out laughing. Wait, this person is your fiancé? No way, we've run into each other, Jay. She calls him Jay. Come on, I told you to hurry up. Let's just make things clear right here. As she said this with a coy look, he turned to face me. Look, Sarah, I'm dating Monica. What? Sorry, but let's pretend our engagement never happened. I'm going to marry Monica. What? Wait, Jake, what are you saying? I met Monica at an outdoor festival event, and we both felt it was destiny right away. Oh, sorry. But Jay was the one who pursued me, saying he'd break up with his girlfriend. She said it so nonchalantly. So, thanks for everything up till now. Wait, Jake. Let's at least talk this through properly. But there's nothing left to talk about. What? I've made up my mind. Monica is as cute and stylish as you can see, and she's just the best. She's only 24 and comes from a wealthy family. Jay, you're so funny. My dad's just a CEO, that's all. So, I'm going to marry Monica and become rich. What? You're quitting your job too? I thought you loved your current job. I'm doing it for Monica. It pays better than my current job anyway. Oh, and make sure to cancel the venue, okay? Don't worry. I'll pay the cancellation fee since it's my responsibility. Wow, Jay, you're so responsible. I want to be with you as soon as possible.
Yay!
So cool. I barely managed to keep from collapsing right there. It was no use, nothing I could say would matter. Just as she said, Jake looked utterly smitten with her. Okay. I managed to squeeze out a response. I can't cry here, not in front of these people. Oh, well then, see you around. Keep on getting dirty with your pottery. What's that supposed to mean? The two of them walked away arm in arm, looking very happy. 2 years after breaking up with Jake, I turned 30 and was still completely devoted to my work. Now, I don't have any feelings left for that man. In fact, I consider myself lucky that I didn't have to deal with him cheating on me after marriage. Seeing the ceramics I designed come out of the kiln always lifted my spirits. And there was someone who noticed that. Luke, a craftsman at the kiln I've been working with for years, had been watching me. I had always thought his mind was filled only with ceramics. I was surprised when he asked me out to dinner and confessed to me on our 3rd date. I respected him as a craftsman, so I was genuinely pleased. But carrying the trauma from my past, I was hesitant to dive into a relationship. So I told him everything, holding nothing back. After all, I had announced my engagement at work and to the people at the kiln, so he knew about its dissolution. He listened quietly and then gave me his usual kind smile. That must have been tough for you. Yes. To be honest, I was shocked when I heard you were getting married. But it made sense that someone as wonderful as you would have a partner. And I blamed myself for not making a move sooner. What? It was an unexpected revelation. When you said your marriage was off, forcing a smile, I wanted to be there for you right away, but I thought you needed time. I just hoped that by immersing yourself in your work and continuing to create great pieces, you'd find your spirit again. You've been thinking about me for that long. And, believe it or not, I'm quite popular. Huh? Maybe it's because my grandfather is wealthy, but I've had my fair share of advances from very beautiful women, and I've dated a few. But I never felt a spark. I enjoy playing with clay much more. Sure. He wasn't bragging or joking, just speaking matter-of-factly with a serious expression. It's this kind of naturalness. I thought, and then he looked straight at me. Sarah, you're the first person I've ever wanted to make happy. While I felt a slight urge to laugh, my heart also warmed. With him, I felt it would be okay. Naturally, I found myself saying, I'm happy. Please take care of me. A year later, Luke and I got married. Everyone at the company and the kiln celebrated with us. Since we wanted to continue working, we decided to live in 2 places at the beginning of our marriage. One was his family home near the kiln. I had heard his grandfather was wealthy, but I was astonished to see such a mansion. We live in a section of that mansion. In the future, we plan to leave my job and live here full-time, working together at the kiln. The other was a condo we rented near my company in the city center. The condo is still not fully furnished, so today we visited a nearby interior shop. That's where an unexpected encounter awaited us. It wasn't a pleasant one. As we were looking at the sofas, we heard a voice from behind. Is that the plain Jane, Sarah, over there? Jake. It had been over 3 years, but I couldn't forget him. My ex-fiancé, Jake, was standing there. And with him was his model girlfriend, Monica. I knew they had gotten married as they had declared. It was because his model girlfriend was loudly broadcasting it on social media and in magazines. But somehow, Monica didn't look as pretty as before, her expression seemed harsher, or somehow different. Come to think of it, I hadn't seen her in the media recently. Jake was smirking, but his face lacked vitality. This is an upscale neighborhood. What are you doing here? Oh, do you need a permit to shop in an upscale neighborhood? Really? You don't live around here, do you? This store is expensive, not for someone like you. Yeah, you're still as plain and poor-looking as ever. You love the color of soil, huh? I didn't expect an apology for the past, but I was fed up with his condescending attitude. Exactly. If someone as unfashionable as you comes in, it lowers the store's class. People might think we're poor too. We came all the way from our place, just around the corner in that famous high-rise. And we're on the 25th floor. I was irritated by their unsolicited boasting, but engaging with them would be a waste of time. I remained silent. My silence seemed to irk Jake further, as he continued to provoke. You're still going on about loving ceramics and dressed like you're broke. Oh, by the way, I make a cool $100,000 a year. And he's working as my stay-at-home husband now. He even moved to that high-rise for me. $100,000 a year? That must be tough. What? The sudden comment came from Luke. Even I was surprised and echoed the sentiment, aligning with these unpleasant folks. It's just a bit concerning, living in someone else's house. Hey, who is this guy? Jake noticed my husband and asked. Nice to meet you, I'm Luke. It seems Sarah used to be under your care. The two of them looked surprised for a moment but then laughed dismissively while sizing up my husband. Wow, you managed to get married? Well, you're a good match for each other, both so plain. Really, he seems so out of it. Didn't even notice him there. What's with the "that must be tough" just now? Jake glared at my husband. Well, you live on the 25th floor of that high-rise, and you make $100,000 a year, right? Yeah, I make $100,000. Jake puffed up with pride. And with all those brand name items you wear, I can't help but worry, even though it's none of my business. Ah. A poor person trying to make a dig, how pathetic. Unfortunately for you, we're not struggling at all. Is that so? But your wife doesn't look too well, is everything alright? What? Hey, Monica, what's wrong? It's nothing, really. Can't relate to making $100,000, huh? How much do you make? $10 an hour. No, it's not about hourly wages, I don't work in an office, I'm at home. Wow, unemployed, huh? Knew it, you're just being used for your money. Wait, that's not. Please don't disrespect my dear Sarah. Gotta defend yourself as a leech, huh? Oh god, he called her my dear Sarah, what a weirdo. They continued to look down on us, completely misunderstanding the situation. Sarah, let's go. It's troublesome to deal with these hopeless people. Yeah, let's hurry. My husband took my hand, and we left the place. Sour grapes. Don't come back. Don't pretend to be a local around here. But, we do live in the presidential tower, you know. When my husband responded, the two of them burst into laughter. Trying to lie when you're upset, but it's such an obvious lie. It's super famous, anyone knows the name. The most expensive around here, no way you could live there. Ignoring their laughter, we walked away. I can't believe we ran into them here. I'm really sorry, Luke. As we walked, I apologized. I should be the one apologizing. It was rude of me to bring up money on our first meeting. It was inappropriate. Ha! I almost laughed out loud at my husband's serious response. Clearly, they were the rude ones. But they live in that tower nearby. It would be awful to run into them again. Our condo is also near here. Their tower was one of our options, but I'm so glad we didn't end up choosing the same place. My husband responded. Don't worry, they'll be gone soon. What do you mean? Isn't that lady's family wealthy? Do you know her name? Huh. I was confused by what my husband meant, staring at him blankly. A few days later. As my husband and I were about to leave through the entrance, we suddenly heard a voice. There you are. Wow, you really do live here. Jake and his wife appeared in front of us, making me wide-eyed. Why are you here? Please, help us. What? We're being kicked out of that high-rise. Oh. Why is that? Well, because of rent arrears. You haven't been paying your rent? Well, that's understandable then. It really had nothing to do with us. Just wait. They were okay with waiting for the payment until suddenly they said they couldn't wait anymore. It's because of your husband. This time, Monica shouted. And how is that my husband's fault? When I heard the name Smith, I couldn't believe it. Your husband owns that high-rise? She was visibly frustrated, her face turning red. It's not me, but my father. What? It originally belonged to my grandfather, but now I think it's under my father's name. Well, it doesn't really matter either way. The management company said if there's no further payment, they'll start eviction proceedings. That's only natural. It's not a charity. But that's why I said it must be tough with a $100,000 salary. What do you mean by that? Jake shouted. With a $100,000 income, a couple should be able to live quite comfortably. But the rent for the 25th floor there is $5,000 a month, right? Surely you didn't forget to account for taxes. Huh? And on top of that, living a life filled with branded luxuries. It would be strange if you weren't struggling. Monica, you were the one who wanted to live there. When did the rent even start falling behind? But the social circle in the high floors of that high-rise. There are luxury lunches, spas. You need to have nice bags and jewelry or you won't be taken seriously. You don't have to associate with such people, you know. Why? Is keeping up appearances so important that you'd go into debt for it? What debt? Jake raised his voice in shock. He seemed utterly surprised. Did he not know? You're telling me we're behind on rent and in debt. That's why it's tough to be at the top, even in the fashion world. I can't be seen in shabby clothes as a model. You hardly have any modeling jobs left, do you? Ugh. So that's it. No wonder I hadn't seen her around lately. It seems like a tough industry, always bringing in younger and newer faces one after another. As I murmured, Monica glared at me with a fierce look. Shut up, you plain Jane. Damn it, what's with you? You said you'd handle the finances, and now you haven't even paid the rent. Jake confronted Monica. But her family is wealthy, right? You always boasted about that. Why not ask them for help? I offered a deliberately, or rather kindly, helping hand. But Sarah, her family's business has been struggling since last year, and they're not as well off. What? Wait. So, that must be why they couldn't pay the rent anymore. They must have been relying on her family's support until then. Wait. How do you even know about my dad's company? Because my grandfather is the chairman of the Smith Group. What? Oh, the Smith Group. A genuine tycoon. Jake muttered in disbelief. Your father's company used to do business with us, but there's no connection anymore. My husband continued matter-of-factly. My grandfather owns many apartments, both domestically and internationally. Then you should have said that when we met the other day. We don't brag about such things, it's unseemly. What? Are you trying to mock me? I didn't intend to, but it seems it turned out that way. It's so annoying. Sorry about that. Just don't apologize. It was like a comedy sketch. As I nearly laughed at their rapid exchange, Monica snapped at me. But that's not your money, is it? In the end, you're just living off your grandfather's wealth. I set her straight. Luke is a renowned ceramic artist. Huh? There are customers who wait months for his work. At the same time, we're making affordable items at the kiln for everyone. And our online sales always sell out. My husband has never relied on his grandfather's money. Don't lump him in with you. If we ever need help, we've been told they'd assist us. After a chuckle, my husband looked back at Jake and Monica with a serious expression. Normally, after 3 months of unpaid rent, the contract can be terminated and eviction proceedings started. And if there's still no payment, eviction can be enforced within another 2 to 3 months. That high-rise contract states this clearly, doesn't it? Oh. They waited 5 months for you because they believed your wife's story. What story? She tearfully said her husband was sick and their income had dropped, asking for patience. Monica, what the hell are you doing? But that was a lie. In reality, there were debts from living lavishly. I've reported this to my father and grandfather. So why do you know about the debts? Jake was pale-faced, and Monica was almost in tears. We looked into it. My husband stated simply. I heard about the past from Sarah. But now we're happy, and meeting you again was just a coincidence. Then it's fine, isn't it? But what did you say to Sarah when you met her again? No apology, just disdain and insults. I couldn't forgive that. No way. And I was genuinely worried, hearing you lived in that high-rise on a $100,000 salary. No. Actually, it's good that you found out about the debt before it got any worse. Jake and Monica were left speechless by my husband's bright smile. Wait, what's with this quirky air? I couldn't help but be impressed by his way with words. It's not sarcasm, he's just stating it as it is. Whether it's because he was born into such wealth or it's just his personality, I'm not entirely sure. Probably the latter, though. Hey, Sarah, help me out, I'll apologize. Yeah, you can fix this if you ask, right? Wow, suddenly they're changing their tune. I must decline. I mimicked my husband's smile. But mine was more mischievous than natural. I don't have anything to do with your debt. That's right. Let's go, Sarah. Wait, please. Don't just cut us off with a smile. Ignoring their desperate cries, I started walking hand in hand with my husband. Eventually, Jake and Monica were, of course, evicted from the high-rise. Monica's father ended up paying the overdue rent, but in return, she was disowned. Her family's business was in a precarious situation, and Jake's income as their son-in-law had also decreased. Despite this, her parents were furious at her for squandering money just for show and told her she couldn't step foot in their house until she repaid the debts, including the ones she made them cover. Jake, completely fed up with her, seemed to be considering divorce. But if he had indulged her and left the finances entirely in her hands, wasn't it partly his own fault? Monica had taken loans from dubious sources without her parents or Jake knowing, and now she was being chased by intimidating debt collectors. Meanwhile, my husband and I are discussing the next designs at the house. Sarah, could you take a look at these colors and tell me which one you prefer? Sure. Someday, if we have children, I want our family to enjoy meals together using the dinnerware my husband has made. Today, like every day, we're surrounded by the scent of earth in our beloved workshop.